Hey everyone, welcome to First Impressions. I'm Rob Beeler from Beeler.Tech. And First Impressions is our attempt to capture and find out about, really the products behind ad tech and how things work. People that are in the ad operations role are often asked to pretty much know everything. And what we want to do is actually give people an opportunity to see what some of these solutions actually do. Today, we're excited because we're going to be talking to Hans Fast from DanAds, which has a self-serve platform, though that's almost too small in terms of what you do, Hans. You do more, and you have a more holistic approach than just creating that product. I'd love for you to talk. You are the head of core development, right? So you're one of the people that's really about the back end of this. So really looking for your perspective. Why don't you tell us a little bit about DanAds, and then let's see some product when we can here.
Nice to be here. So what we do at DanAds, we're providing self-service solutions, automations to small, medium-sized, large publishers who want to take that route and really, take self-serve to their advertisers. And we like to hold hands. Basically, we have a lot of experience in this area. We have at least for 7 years, we've been building enterprise platforms for mostly larger publishers, and we've been taking that experiencing and packaging it and forming it into what we call the core product. And that's the one you will see. I will demo that today, and you will see also, some parts of how we work as far as wanting to take that conversation with the publishers on self-serve and not only deliver the solution, but also, it's a continuous, go-to-market strategies. What type of campaigns do you want to run? Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? It's clicks, CPMs, whatever that conversation is. I can say we're ready for it because of our experience.
That's great.
And so that's basically what we do. So we build these enterprise platforms, and then we have in our product portfolio, we have that, and then this core, which is more like a plug and play thing, heavy configurable, obviously. And then we also do custom build platforms for like larger projects, completely custom build integrations into anything. But the key for us is automation and self-serve.
Great. And it's so that what I hear there is, there might be a particular use case, a very straightforward, simple use case that someone might say this would be a solution for, to someone that has a very specific business problem, again, of how to transact with their companies, and you could do custom work to connect all of those pieces, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming with that is the workflow too, right? So it's not just, a form, right? To which on the other end, someone gets an email and manually enters it in. You're fully integrating into the solutions that the publisher uses.
Yes, yeah. So automation for it to work needs to be 360. It needs to be all the way. I mean, and I think for the publisher, it's important to, at least we want to get into that conversation where we do deliver the platform and we do connect the dots, but also holding hands and making sure that you do it in the right order. I mean, because system wise we can basically build anything, but it's more important of how do we get there. So okay, we do this first, and then we make sure that we make money on that, and then we take the next step, make money on that, and then so it's not like building a huge system and then deliver it and hope it'll fly. That's not how we operate.
Got it. But you're also, one of the things that you have to solve for is, if it is a self-serve platform, is what the client sees, right? And when in this case, I mean an advertiser or someone, right? The publisher's client, what they see in that workflow, to then the workflow and the systems on the other end. So you really have to solve for both sides of that equation, to your point, like a 360.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through some of what that can look like?
Absolutely. So I don't think I even mentioned that earlier, but So when DanAds started, it started with this idea this really strong, um, strong commitment to making it white label, right? So when you're out there, you don't see DanAds. What you see, I can show you. This is a white label solution, DanAds, always is. So it looks completely different. And for each of these, they have their own workflow. They have their own, obviously, their own setup connected to their ad server, connected to other things, depending on what kind of campaigns that they're running. Are they running online campaigns only? Maybe online and social, maybe print. But it is white label, right? So we hook up to that and integrate as much as needed, basically. So, and then it has its own name, obviously. It's Promote on SoundCloud, it's TripAdvisor Media Manager, it can be called something else. But so in the publisher's infrastructure, we integrate, and then they add a button or something. Well, okay, you want to put ads on our platform, in our network, and then from then on, our system basically takes over, but it looks like you are still in SoundCloud or First or.
And I see even with the names like a media manager versus a promote, just looking at the very these are different strategies as well. It's all underlying self-serve, right? But like, and again, I'm kind of reading into this, but media manager sounds to me like, again, someone that is really trying to think through how they're going to purchase and they're going to be more involved. Promote on SoundCloud sounds to me like something where, again, I can advertise myself and promote, again, my tracks. That's more of a consumer individual level versus someone more of an agency, more of a company type of thing. That's a pretty wide range to kind of solve for.
Yes.
Right.
No, and it's all, and for us, they all do the same thing. I mean, we're engineers, right? We look at not how things are, but how they should be. So it means they should be different, right? And for the publisher, it's important that we also understand. It's not always that we know how it should be from the start. We're really listening, right? So SoundCloud communicates completely different than Hearst or TripAdvisor does with their advertisers, and important that when we deliver something, it doesn't get in the way of that communication, because that communication drives business and makes the advertiser, purchase ads and come back and so forth.
Great. Good. Well, let's see some product, Hans. You know me.
All right.
Okay.
Show me.
Let's just show me. Let's see it.
Here we are. This is the advertiser's dashboard. Really simple. You see your ads, you see your campaigns, your performance, overall campaigns, basically. And here they are. And let's see, take a look at your maybe you have some campaigns that are ready, meaning they are running. So you buy these either in impressions or you buy in money. You can buy clicks, CPM, CPC, CPD.
And those options I control as the publisher, so I might not want CPC, but again, if I get to manage it as the
yeah. So this is exactly. So what's configurable? Well, let's go to create campaign. So the advertiser selects a campaign, and from here on, everything is configurable as far as filtering. So we have, in this case, first choice is, do you want to go with display or do you want to run a video ad? So I do that, and then you have another filtering level, and this goes on as many as you like. So let's go just basic targeting. I have some options, and we get to the product part. Okay, product is where it sort of all comes together. The product connects, in this case, it's online, connected to Google Ad Manager, connects your network And the setup in your network, your ad units, your key values, whatever you have on that network that you want to package and bring out to self-serve. And it all comes back here, right? It comes into a product and you put a price on it. You decide how you want to sell it, CPM, CPC, CPD, and then what available sizes are there for it. You set the size, you set the price, and then basically me as an advertiser, you can get discounts, you can get promo codes, and so forth. But you basically set up the products the way you want them to be, completely configurable, and communicate with the advertisers so they actually understand what they're buying. So I'm going to pick this one. And then really simple wizard here. Okay, we're here. We're at schedule and budget. I can select a budget model if I want to prepay or if I want to buy subscription. And that's also configurable, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just pick a date here in the future. Let me just run it. Let's have April. And I want to, I have $5,000. That's it. And from here, now we get into targeting. And this is also completely configurable per product. Okay, so for each product, you can set this product A, I want to have this kind of targeting, maybe only geo-targeting, and some other you can go really deep with device targeting or any other options you have. For now, I'm not going to choose anything here. So let me get to what we call advanced targeting. These are also configurable, what you call these steps. All these are configurable. Here in this case, it's age or gender targeting. And these, what are these? So these can be key values in the network, in the ad server, or it could be audiences. Completely up to you, right? Configurable.
If you could hold there for a second, because this is, to me, some of the most exciting stuff about the self-serve model today. One, I'm seeing off to the right-hand side, I'm seeing available impressions, right? So it's not about putting out products and hoping I have the impressions. That's a real-time connection to the server. So it's getting real forecasting. I think that's huge, right? That allows you to do that. And two, like you're talking about age and gender, and this was, this is kind of a basic part, but what you were saying about audiences, to me, this is one of the areas that publishers have struggled with first-party data segments they can make only on their website, but they have to go and try to tell the world that it exists. You can create those segments so that someone can come in and they could buy a small piece or whatever that is, but you can essentially create that. I think that's really powerful. I think that there's going to be a thing there where you're going to see more and more publishers pushing out specific audience segments that you can buy from them, and know that you could do it. Again, they might be small segments, but you can get exactly what you want, and it handles that for you. I think that's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and in our experience, many publishers are moving more and more to their first party. I mean, obviously they become more important since third-party cookies are gone, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And what the platform does, as you are making these selections, you activate these targeting options, then you can always monitor the available impressions up here. So it'll tell you, how much you can buy, how much is available.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I need to select something here, but I'm just going to move on. And you get to the creative section. Obviously, you can add creatives, one or multiple. I'll do that later. And then you just basically get to, an overview of what you have selected. And from here, give the campaign a name. So this is Spring Demo Burritos. Why not? We all like
I'm
Mexican
in.
food.
I'm in. I want some spring burritos.
Yeah, we do. And then, yeah, then from here, check out as any other checkout, but we can do it if you want to see that work. Oh, then it says there's not enough. Okay, got it. So what I need to do? Well, there was too little here. So you need to go back and change your schedule, your budget. And you can try, you can see there is only 416. And I asked for 833. So, okay, I'll lower my budget and then move on.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
And then I'm assuming on the other end, once someone has sent and bought, that I, on the publisher side, get to see. Oh, again, you're going to show this. You're going to show this. I was going to say that I want to make sure I get to look at the creative. I can look to see what was bought and sold and make sure that everything is in order. And again, hopefully, I can just easily click a button and get that to move forward.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah. So we will tell the advertiser if there's not enough impressions. We will tell the advertiser if there is something with the creatives, and obviously, or not, maybe not obviously, but we demand. I didn't add any creatives here yet, so this is obviously not going to go live until there's at least one approved creative. But let me just follow through here. So
yeah, please.
This part is really simple. Obviously, you can have multiple campaigns. Sorry about that. Multiple campaigns in one order, and then promo code if you have one. So the publisher can very easily set up promo codes. Pretty advanced the way you can control that. And then we do handle VAT or tax for the publisher. And obviously, this is just an example, but I'll just pay for this, and then we're done with this campaign. So it should be as simple as that for us, and for the advertiser, and they all have it on their dashboard. Now I have my spring burrito demo burritos here.
So let me ask a question here on this side of it, because again, we'll get into the back end. One of the things that I think is a thought around self-serve, or at least something that I've learned kind of recently, has been the idea that you of course want to set up self-serve so that someone can interact on their own. They could buy this, right? So you could market this, those landing pages, right? You can try to get your buyers to come in and buy and transact that way. But there's also a part, I'm sure you've had you've had publishers that have salespeople that can use this kind of interface with their clients to kind of walk them through the buy. So in other words, what you just did was pretty much trafficking an ad without a lot of the other fancy buttons that I get within my ad server. So you've simplified the kind of trafficking and just push that further out from the ad operations team to sales to even the client, right?
Yeah.
By simplifying that entry. And that to me seems like a real area that, like, I almost feel like self-serve is going to be something that sometimes people are going to have to actually sell self-serve, not just hope self-serve takes care of itself. Do you have publishers that do that in terms of having salespeople use these tools or work this way?
Yes, absolutely. And then it is important because so we have salesperson module. Basically, it's permissions set. So the advertiser can create as many of these salespersons. They create user groups that cater for whatever department they need to work in a system like this. So, and with permissions, they can control. Basically, it's creating ads for others, as we call them. So, and then you can give each of these user groups permissions all the way down to maybe even approve creatives, even on sales, or you create an ad ops user group which have detailed permissions on what they can do. And there is basically no limitations there. And then obviously you get a lot more controls here in the UI when you're a salesperson. But basically what you do is what we just did, except that you pick the advertiser first. You can even do it for an agency. And then we send out a promotion to that advertiser who may or may not be a user in the self-serve system, right? So either sales can take it all the way to purchase, or they can just, they get automatically an email notification with a link to the campaign, and the advertiser can just go in and buy it, or have a conversation around it, whether targeting should change or the creatives are okay.
Yeah. And then once you've got them into the system to do that work, or to see that, then they also get the reports, right? Yep. So then they can go log in and get the reports anytime they want to, which again can alleviate some of the management of a direct sale, where I'm continually having to download reports, send people Excel spreadsheets. It's all here for you, client, and even for sales to be able to pull these numbers and have them there. So I think that there's something really powerful there.
Yeah, and the report section. So what we have there is basically two types of reports. Sort of directly, I want it now, or have it sent on a schedule, and I want to send every Monday, every week, or end of month, or so that's there, and that's been around since the first legacy platforms. So yeah, that's
very good. Very good. Great.
All right. So any other questions on this part here? Otherwise, I'll jump into the publishers part, the setup section.
No, I assume, and again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask and I'll work them in, but why don't you continue, and then we can see if anything comes up.
All right. So I'll just log out from this guy, and then I'll log in as publisher. The publisher is obviously more, now it becomes more of a, more options. It's still not expert system in any sense, but it's really what's demanded from you as a publisher. You create publisher accounts. Basically, you as publisher, you can have anybody from your organizations logging in here and having it set up the way that it works for them, or the way that works in the workflow within each publisher. So here it's like, well, we have some warnings, we have active campaigns running now, their performance, we have what's in the pipeline, what's starting soon, and then waiting for approval. Basic setup, basic plug and play, we have creatives approval only, but always creatives approval. We don't recommend starting with no creatives approval.
100%.
So, yeah, so not even for known advertisers, because creatives approval is just more than the image, right? It's the URL and the script, maybe the first impression track or whatever you have on it. So, but that's it. What's demanded from me as publisher here, and then apart from that is more administration. Your companies, your three types of companies. We have advertisers, we have agencies, and then we have agency clients. Meaning, if I sign up as an agency, I'm able to enter my clients and then create platform ads for them through the platform.
That's smart. And
yeah. So there's basically two types of advertisers, put it that way. Then how do you get them here? Well, then we have invites. So you send the invites, and you do that anyway. You can do it outside. You can do it in your own. You can do it on your first party segments. Invite them, and when you do, you can upload these invitations here and then track how many have signed up. Basically, you can have sales inviting, or anybody can invite personally invite somebody, and you basically track it here. So it's a way to also like a pull and push thing that you get them to sign up, and you can remind them. And that's part of the go-to-market strategy is to have these features easily accessible, and you can keep track of.
And again, I think that the early self-serve models were more about you created the store and just hoped that people came to it, right? You kind of almost felt like that would happen. And what I'm hearing here is that in the tool itself, you're going to be sending out invites. You're going to be pulling people in to take a look and to try that out, and you'll be able to measure the effectiveness to do that. One question for the agency side, again, if you're working with your clients, are you able to have different products for different clients? At a matter of exposing different opportunities to different types of clients, perhaps?
Yep. So what we do, we can go. We don't have to check the repo. We can go to products, right? So
Yeah,
products are, I mentioned before, is where it all sort of comes together. And in the pricing parts, you can really control who do I expose this product to. So first of all, the product can either be public or exclusive. Exclusive means it's not for everybody. You set the price and the price model. You decide, how can I purchase this? And then you set customer prices. And this is where you can control which customer groups, as we call them, can see this product and can purchase on the product. With specific prices, if you like, and multi-currency, obviously, but this is where you all control this. You put up previews to what these ads look like on your site, so that the advertiser or agency, when they purchase, they see that preview, and that's it, basically. You recommend it or not, meaning it's just shown a bit differently on in the campaign, create campaign journey, and yeah, that's it. Then this ties in with the targeting. So under settings here, we have quite a few options. If we skip the sort of obvious ones like budget limitations and exchange rates, but let's get to targeting section. This is where we when we created that campaign, we saw age and gender and category. So this is where you set that up, and you decide what these are. What kind of animal is it? Is it a key value? Is it an audience? Is it a pre-built in something in your ad server? And then here you get into just sort of how is age set up, or category, or the keywords. And they tie in directly integrated. In this case, it's online GUM. So it's the external ID and whatever it's called on the other side. So in our integration engine, it's really important that we have these external IDs to almost all objects on our side. So that means we can store whatever this is in another system.
Got it. So,
and then, yep.
Go ahead, please.
No, and then of course you decide what the text should be, right? How you want to describe your products, how you want to promote them. What's the hint when they hover over it? Is there a tooltip? Yeah, and you can also, because we notice sometimes when we come to a publisher, the self-serve side, maybe they just want to try it out. Maybe they're fully committed, or maybe they take part of their inventory and make it available for us, or for self-serve. Then maybe they want the display names differently, So we're a layer here between, where we're closely integrated with the ad server in this case, and then you can also change stuff here in the middleware without having to involve too much administration or changes in the ad server. So we're trying to stay away from that. We're trying to use your ad server as it is, and we will come in and we will help you set this up and hold your hand, but you have complete control over it. And ideally, after after we launched, the publisher will be creating products, and will change, the UI, will change the descriptions, and maybe even change, what some display name in the ad service comes something else, right? But we're going a bit deep here, but I just wanted to show you.
No, but see, but as you're saying that stuff, like, to me, some of the strategy and some of the thoughts that go into this, right? Because again, if I'm a publisher trying to think this through, the fact is that if you're able to easily duplicate what I already go out to market with, that's really helpful versus me having to rethink products that you're imposing on me versus the ones that I want, right? So that, I think, helps get me further along. But then it gets into, well, am I going to represent my inventory exactly the same way through self-serve as I do as a sale? Well, public versus exclusive, right? Gives me not only just pricing, but could also even be the products themselves, right?
Yep.
To the idea that this might be something that we only make available on self-serve, and hint that if you wanted to spend more or you wanted full features, here's the phone number to call or the email address to go to, right? So the idea being is that this gets into this kind of complementary sales channel, right? That works with me. But the fact that you're not having to impose products on me, I'm able to make my own products based off the way I've configured my ad server, I think is probably a really key component to being successful with this.
Yeah. No, yeah, we think so too, right? And this will mature. I mean, we know we are the industry leader in this, but still we are humble enough to be able to acknowledge that this is a changing industry, right? And it's changing rapidly. We will. I mean, we have all our tentacles out there, but they're sure we're missing some. And this is where the conversation with the publisher is so important for us, right? So we will make sure that we will put it into the system when there's need for it, and we will with this core platform, we are also doing incremental changes all the time, continuous development, meaning that we will add features, add small things, add it. So obviously the administration parts of product setup might sort of grow and will grow, but really important is that the advertiser's journey, or the agency, or even the salesperson who is using the system, it needs to be really simple. It needs to not pollute their UI with all these new features or whatever. So we're keeping that for admin, right? So that's really the key strategy in the design.
One other question, and you showed display. I'm sure video is very similar. What about native advertising as well as social? Are you able to create?
Yeah. So the way you set up a product, if you see, if I have some, so here's one which has a native ad. So what we do here, we just read this directly from the ad server. And so in the product setup, the publisher has decided that, okay, so this product can be bought as a display or as a native. And then this is what the advertiser will see. If he picks this product, he's able to just fill in and really create his own ad, really simple. Add your logo, add your image, what's the body text, and blah 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 in the creative wizard, and then that's it. So we tie directly into the ad server's native ad formats.
Very good, very good. Hans, is there anything that you wanted to show that you haven't shown, or if you think you've covered it? I think you've done a great job with that. We can kind of get final thoughts. Anything that you want to leave people with?
It's nothing really. I mean, it's more like if somebody wants to see some special parts, but no, not really.
Well, let's say that someone does have further questions. Who should they contact? How do they get in touch with someone at DanAds that can help kind of walk through that?
Yeah, so I'll give you that part. So here is, get in touch. When I come to think of it, maybe could describe a bit about the integrations we have, if
Yeah,
interested. But basically, we have out-of-the-box integrations, obviously, with ad servers, with payment providers, and then analytics, and Google Tag Manager obviously is always there. Then we have CRM, finance integrations, which out of the box, but there's always some tweaks and things to do there. Every integration with a CRM system or a finance is different. And then we also have completely different types of campaigns, for instance, like online, obviously, social, and those are also integrations to maybe external systems like Polar or similar. No, that's it. It's important that it's integrated. So our sort of integration engineers are working full time also with the concept of being an engineer. Basically, how can we do this better, and how should it be? So that's our.
I get that. I get that sense, right? That this is very much an engineer-driven approach, and that's kind of, again, to your point, we have to make it easy for someone to buy, and so that takes engineering, and we want it to be obviously make it profitable for the publisher. So you want those integrations, and that's just full-time work, right? Systems change, you have to kind of be prepared for all of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And working through all of it. So Hans, thank you so much for walking through all of that. And again, if anyone is interested, info@danads.com. Beeler.Tech, we're always happy to introduce. DanAds is one of our partners. And Hans, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it was a pleasure. All right.